The Virgin in the Ice is a 1981 novel by Ellis Peters, which is a pen name for Edith Parker, and it is the sixth book in the Cadfael Chronicles. And I have previously reviewed all of the previous Cadfael Chronicles, starting with A Morbid Taste for Bones. You don't have to have read those to read this one. You really don't. I mean, they're all just kind of standalone murder mysteries. I mean, there are some overarching characters, and I think reading all of them makes sense because they're all enjoyable and all slightly different and all rather straightforward and short for that matter too. So this one though is during the bitter November of 1139. The Civil War brings refugees to Shrewsbury in search of sanctuary, but two orphans and their companion, a nun, did not arrive from Worcester as planned, and Brother Cadfael is dispatched from the abbey to try and locate them. Though in Bromfield there is an injured man with a tonsure that is not from Bromfield, another mystery, and maybe one connected to our missing peoples. These two youths are nobles, but their closest kin is pledged to the Empress. Cadfael is not the only one looking for them, and I should say he's pledged to the Empress, but the people in this area that Cadfael finds himself in have been Kingsmen ever since the end of the second book. So it only starts in November, but most of this book is actually in December. This is different in a sense than the previous books, as it doesn't actually begin with a body, essentially, right? I mean, we know at this point these are all murder mysteries. That is just the premise of the book. Who is murdered in this case is not immediately obvious. So there is a flurry of new characters, but also the old, like the sheriff, the abbot, Hugh Berengar, and the ever-good deputy sheriff. This book cheered my soul and sent my heart flying in sadness. I mean, I don't have much to say because it's hard to describe murder mysteries without giving them a lot away. But as always, there's always a strong sense of youth, highly contrasted with life and death, and of the aged, right? Like Cadfael himself is getting old, relatively speaking. So very lovely books, have a very nice sense of time and place, and not in like a super academic fashion. They're not like super obtuse or like hard to understand, right? Like, for example, these books are highly comparable to Umberto Eco's wonderful novel, The Name of the Rose. The Name of the Rose is chock full of philosophy and theology, right? That is not Cadfael's calling at the monastery. He's a gardener and a physician of sorts, so it's very different in that sense. These always have a sense of being cozy in a sense, because it falls into this time and place, and Cadfael is just such a likable character, right? He is very stern on justice, but also very forgiving of other things, right? Again, there's always other interactions going on, and most of these have to do with youth, of the coming of age, a sense, but like through Cadfael's old man perspective, which is interesting. I mean, pretty much in every book there is like some coming of age aspect, but not generally, at least primarily, through the perspective of those younger peoples. Though it's not, the perspective in the book is not restricted to Cadfael like in previous books, but overall it's very interesting, very fun, and I don't even think I'm halfway through the series. I'm not entirely sure how many there are, but I very much look forward to reading more of these books. So very, very very sad one in this case. Also, one thing that's nice, you get different things throughout the year, right? So somewhat not a really high focus on like liturgical practice, but you do get different aspects of the seasons as well, which is really neat as these kind of progress just through the months. So anyways, Liam from Liam's Lyceum, lovely book, as the previous 5 have been. I'll catch you next time.